You want to show your face?
Okay,
All
maybe for a
right.
start.
For a start, yes. Hello, good morning, and everyone. We are live now, and today will be a very good day, and you'll be learning what we title office productivity. Okay, office productivity. Before we titled the module as Google Workspace Productivity, but because it is not only Google apps that you'll be learning, you also be learning several Microsoft Office apps such as MS Word and many more. Right, that is why we have to title it as Office Workspace Productivity. So there you can use any of the apps, be it Google or or Microsoft Office, right? And today, right, we have other facilitator that is going to be taking you throughout the module, and his name is Dr. Clement Ajiboye, right? I don't know how to actually quantify him. He's a very good person, nice educator, facilitator, who has several experiences in, I think, biochemistry, in technology, and many more. That is why we have to like invite him, say, please come and help us, teach Office Workspace Productivity so that Thomas Adam University students, can learn from your wide experience. And it's happy to also teach you, those things. And after I introduce him, he will come on board and start teaching you what he has for you today. But just for you all to know, office workspace productivity, as we said during the orientation time, that office workspace productivity is compulsory for everyone, right? And you have a lot to learn. For example, you understand how to build Google form, how to actually design survey form that you can use for your data collection, right? And Dr. Clement is going to teach you all of that. And because this module is compulsory, everybody must attend it. And today now on YouTube we have 19 participants, while on Google Meet we have 17. As you can see, that most people have not joined yet, and this is 10:05. Okay, I believe after Dr. Ajiboye comes on, and all of you will join. And if your friends are not here, please try to inform them that the class, has started. All right, thank you very much. So over to you, Dr. Clement. I cannot hear you. I muted you before. Please unmute yourself. Thank you very much, sir.
Sorry, thank you. The link to the YouTube so that I can follow up with those that
Oh,
are there.
sorry, I've not sent it to you.
All right.
Okay.
So, good morning, everyone. If you can hear me clearly, can you just type one on Google Meet? Type one if you can hear me clearly. Type one or give me your best emoji. I can't see anyone doing that yet. Can hear me clearly? Okay, good. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Ajibola, Ayodeji. All right, excellent. Olasumbo, fine. So you are welcome, as you have heard. My name is Dr. Ajiboye, and all right, I've seen the link. So, and today I'll be taking you um, office productivity, most especially we'll be dealing with Microsoft Word, being used in professional writing. As I'm aware, most all of you are in founder level. So that means either you like it or not, you will be, or perhaps you have even started already doing your project work, and definitely you will be communicating whatsoever the product of your research is through writing, definitely. And one of the major tools that will be at your disposal for doing that definitely will be Microsoft Office. And if that be the case, it is important that you understand how to navigate your ways smartly. The eras of typing table of content is long gone. The era of having haphazard document presentation, not even in this age that we call the digital age. So, but to start with, I would love to quickly introduce you into why the need for you to ensure that whatsoever document you are presenting, either to your supervisor, or you're also involved in another project that needs to be communicated, how important it is for you to do the right thing. So permit me to share my screen first so that I can take you through the first rudiment of what you need to know. Just a moment, please. All right. Okay. Just a moment. I'm trying to do a sharing of my screen. I hope you all can see my screen. Those on YouTube, those on Google Meet, if you can see my screen, can you just give me a yes? You can see my screen. My screen is loading at your hand. Can you give me a yes? Just let me confirm if you all can see my screen. All right. Okay. We can see it. Excellent. And I believe those on Google Meet can as well see my screen. So you are welcome once again. And I will be taking you through processes to understand the importance of professional writing in academic and professional settings. And why is this very, very important? No matter the stage you are, either you're at founder level, or perhaps you even have businesses you run yourself, it's important that when you write well, you are communicating to your supervisor that indeed you are credible and you are doing what it takes, giving it what it takes to give the best in a very, very clear way. So it helps you to communicate clearly to whoever is having that project at end. So it ensures that you are given the proper recognition for what you are doing. And of course, document preparation in different ways, but I think the one that concerns you most at this point in time is in the use of Microsoft Office, most especially the Word, Microsoft Word, is in your report and research writing. So you'll be writing reports, you'll be writing your research papers, and some it could also be for businesses, memos, emails, even document writing as well. Some of you, when you write emails, you attach documents there to also give important information to whoever you are sending your email. So it is important that while doing that, you use clear and concise language to convey your ideas. You understand your audience. You are in an academic environment. There's a way an academic should write, right? And you should ensure, sometimes I've received a comment from one of my supervisors that was saying that I was writing like a reporter. I mean, writing like somebody who is in mass communication. That in sciences, there are ways, science, and art of writing. You go straight to the point, present your results with facts following, not using all kind of jargons to water down what the credible results you have gotten. And use grammar and punctuations to also enhance readability. I hope some of you are good writers and some of the things you know. But what I'm going to be taking you through practically has to be the logical structures and flow of your document. Now, there are different chapters, of course, different sections in documents. I've seen people, what they do most times is that they have the body of their work separately somewhere, and they have the initial pages. You're going to see samples of this as we move on. They have the initial pages of their work somewhere. And so when they want to print, they will take the first document, print, and go and print the second one. Set that you can have the flow of your document from the title page down to the last page in a single document without having to alter or having any form of alteration in the logical flow of the document. It's also important that you use appropriate use appropriate formatting styles. There are some things that will be opening your eyes to see that will aid smartness in your use of Microsoft Office or Microsoft Word. Your styling is very, very important. There's also what we call listing. I know many of you must have seen documents having some kind of listing like 1.0, 2.0, 1.1, 1.21, 1.11. All of these have what they do in document flow. So it's important that you take note of some of those things. And what will this benefit you, right? So when you are a good writer, it improves your performance, your job performance, and advancement in opportunity. Many people have been under some of these trainings of us, have also used that opportunity to reach out to colleagues amidst them for us to come and give them the same thing you are hearing now. So it's important that when you get to workplaces, it gives you smartness, you perform your work without stress, while somebody is still struggling on how to put some document together within 5 seconds, you have done it. While somebody is still struggling on how to do a table of content. For example, I worked on a project where the number of pages was about 502 pages. All chapter work, 502 pages, different sections, different stylings. So imagine if I have to be doing table of content for that voluminous work, and I now have to be opening page by page, now writing down or typing down the title on this page, take the page number. What happens if I submit this to my supervisor and my supervisor says I should strike out one of the sections? That means it will take me another 1 month to begin to set them in proper places. So that within 5 seconds, you can effect changes and it will not alter anything in the structure and the flow of your work. So that's why when you write clearly, it helps you better communicate your ideas and increase your credibility. Now, in this particular work, which we are going to be trying, I will try as much as possible to cover this aspect within this time space, is I will be able to learn how to format your document with Microsoft Word, seamless table of content. I will give you a preview on what to do, how to do it. For management of references, I hope I'll be able to touch that because it also requires some technicalities, but I will still try as much as possible to get that across to you. Then proper document structuring for navigation. I don't know as many of you, if you have seen a document and from the table of content of your document, you can move to an actual page of where that content is. I mean, you can click, most especially if it's a soft copy, you can click from the table of content and it will take you, if that page is page 102, it will take you directly from the table of content to 102. So those are how you can structure. If you're able to structure a document properly, you can as well be able to do that. And as well collaborating using Microsoft Word. And of course, I've said all of these things. Now, there are some common mistakes. There are some common mistakes in document formatting, and this you must avoid. And I want you to pay attention clearly. If you can still hear me, can you please give me your best emoji on Google Meet and just send me a 2 on the YouTube if you can still hear me clearly and you are following. I believe everybody should be glued to their screen now. You are following. Give me your best emoji or a 2. Excellent, excellent. So, all right. So let's go ahead. Now look at all the things you have on your screen. Talking about common mistakes in document formatting. What do they mean? Inconsistent spacing. Sometimes you have a document. Space is the space. What we mean by spacing is the space between a line and the next line. We have different kind. You have 2 line spacing, you have 3, you have 1.5, you have 1.0, and sometimes even no spacing at all. So it is an outlier if in a document you have 1.0 on the same chapter, you have 2.0 on the same chapter, you have 1.5. You are becoming inconsistent. And what that means is that you didn't do a thorough work in putting together your document. So it's important. If your instruction from the school says, in writing project says, the line spacing that you should use is 1.5 line spacing, then it is important that you set your work to 1.5 line spacing. Manual indentation. Sometimes you just see, we love to. Let me do um, so that I can be okay, so that I can be moving from my screen to another, so that I can be showing you examples. But I believe I'll do that very soon. Manual indentation simply means, sometimes when you click your tab key, tab gives you some kind of indenting, either from the left, the work move to your right consistently. Now, if you are using space instead of using tab, then it gives you a problem, because at the end of the day, it becomes inconsistent as well. In chapter 1, paragraph 1, you used space before you now set that title to the center. Whereas in the next section, you use tab to move it to wherever you want to move it. That is not, it's not even ideal. Ideally, you should use tab instead of using space to do your indenting. The multiple line breaks, when you have breaks in lines, instead of using paragraphs, just press enter. You see some people, they press 3 enters in some cases before the next topic or before the next title. Then some will press 2, some will press space before they get it. All of these things are not actually ideal. They're non-breaking spaces. Instead of trying to, when you have spaces that make your work look very haphazard, it is important you use find and replace to eliminate some of those spaces. There are some instances where students do copy and paste directly from the internet. I know definitely if you are copying from the internet to your work, then there will be a problem, because the formatting you are bringing from the internet may not be consistent with the formatting you have already. And it's important that, of course, you edit it to that. Inconsistent font style. What do we mean? I think usually in most places, the generally acceptable style for professional writing is Times New Roman in most places, most especially in your project writing. So sometimes you see some people, they use Arial, they will use some other forms of font style. They will use Times New Roman. So everything will now look as if they are in heart. Some people will use 11-point size, font size. Some people will use 10 in some places. So it is important that you are consistent. If the school says it is 12 point with 1.5 line spacing and Times New Roman, then that should be the way your document should be structured. Missing bold, sometimes when you have too much bold within the body of your work, too much italicizing, for example, those who are in sciences, any botanical name not written in capital letter throughout should be italicized. And in doing that, you have to ensure this is done properly. Then incorrect heading style. We are going to be working a lot today around this heading style. This styling, because if you must be able to do your table of contents within 30 seconds after you are done with your document writing, then good understanding of styling is very, very important to ensure proper organization of your work and automatic numbering. I will explain that when I get there. Then offhand or widowed lines. What do you mean by offhand or widowed lines? It's possible that in a particular document, the last, let's say you have an heading almost at the tail end of that page, and you now have one line describing that heading at the tail end of the page. Then the rest of the work on that topic is now appearing on the next page. It's not ideal professionally. So it's better, since you have just one line describing that particular heading or title, just take the whole heading to the next page. So don't make it a widow or an orphan that doesn't have a head. Sometimes we could also have a situation whereby the whole of the other document is another, the whole of the major part of the document is on the page, while just a single line is last on the next page. It's not communicating effectively. So there are quite a number of mistakes that could be possible. Inconsistent table formatting as well. Yes, you see some people putting headings of table under the table instead of above the table. That's and in another page or in another chapter, they'll put it at the top instead of under, you know. So when you are making a table, your table should be properly formatted, consistent throughout your document. So if your document is using only 2 lines describing the header of that table and the last line describing the ending of the table, that's just 3 lines. In some places, that's what they do. They don't use vertical lines to describe table, only horizontal lines. Then it must be consistent throughout the throughout the document. Yeah. So you have many other examples there, proofreading errors, unclear document, purpose, and so on and so forth. And these are just important shortcuts. So now we are going to go into practical. We are going to try and describe some of these things we have said so that you can be able to practically do this yourself. So if you're on your computer, please open up to your Microsoft, go to your Microsoft Word. Let's try some things out together. But if you are still with me, let me confirm that. If you are still with me, can you please send your best emoji or say, yes, I'm here. If you are still with me, send your best emoji. Let me confirm my people on. Okay, you are still with me. Good, good, good. Thank you, thank you. And you are getting all I'm trying to say. Excellent. Yes, yes, you're in the chat. Yes, I'm here. Excellent. So now I'm going to be sharing a proper Microsoft Word. So let me present the whole of my entire screen so that it can be a bit better for us to navigate together. Okay. All right. I hope you can all see my screen. Okay. So if you open your Microsoft Word, and that's your first time of opening after installation, perhaps, you should have something similar to what you have on the screen right now. So what you just need to do is click on blank document. You can see this interface. You have your home, you have your new, you have open. So, and you have the recent work that have been carried out by me personally. So if you have done anything recently, you are going to see them here and the date they were modified. And you also have some templates already. Let's say you want to do travel newsletter, bookmark marker, invitation cards, then as well click on any of these things. But we are working on blank documents. So you can click on blank document and that will take you, of course, to a document without anything. So I'm going to randomly generate some words so that we can use them to do what we want to do. But before I go to that, you can see different ribbons. And believe you me, many of you knows how to use some things on each of the ribbons. Whereas you don't know that if your work must be effective and your document professional, you have to learn what each of these ribbon does. Yes, of course, your file ribbon gives information about that file. Maybe you want to save a file, you want to create a new file, you want to save as PDF, you want to print, you want to share, you want to export. All of that are possible. Or you have the next ribbon is the home ribbon, and that's what you are going to see immediately. I hope, yes. That's what you're going to see immediately you open your Microsoft Word. And on the home ribbon, we're going to be doing quite a number of things today. So on that home ribbon, you have your clipboard. Perhaps if you copy and you want to paste something, you have it there. Then you have the font section here, where you have the font type. If you click this now, you see different font type ranging from your Calibri, Times New Romans, Calibri Light, quite a number of them. And the more you change your font size or font type, let me highlight this. The more you change your font type or font size, You see them, you see what you have there changing to whatsoever you change to. So you can see the display on my rank 70,30 changing to the font type I have picked. And of course, I told you we'll be working with Times New Roman, so you can change it to Times New Roman. You also have next to it your font size, which tells you how big or small that particular font is. You can see as I'm moving down, it's getting increased. So you can see now I have moved to 48. If I keep moving, the bigger it gets. So you can as well do that by just clicking this A. You can see a with a small arrow pointing upwards next to where you have your font size, right? You can also see another A. So if you click that A pointing upward, it will also be increasing it, and you'll be seeing the corresponding font size on the left here. So, and if you move it downwards with the ones under here, the one next to it with the arrow, small arrow under it, to be also be reducing consistently to where you're going. And of course, you have your bold, which is also can be accessed by Control B. You have your italics, if you want to italicize. You have your underline, if you want to underline. You have your strike through, if you want a line across that particular word. Then you have your subscript. Subscript is, let's say you're a chemistry student, and you want to write the formula of a compound, say CH, oh, sorry. I don't want to do this yet. I don't want to do this yet. Okay, let me put it on top. Okay, you're a chemistry student, and let's say you want to write a chemical formula CH4. So you see that if you write it that way, it's not communicating chemical compound. So you have to highlight that 4 and click your subscript, which is that X with 2 under, and you have your 4 clearly looking like a chemical compound. And if it's a subscript you want, let's say you want to, you're a mathematics student, you want to type S square, and you are not using the equation writing stuff. So you can write your 2 and as well highlight it. Just a moment. And as well highlight the 2, and then of course you press S square. There are shortcuts to this. For example, if I want to do subscript, I can just press Ctrl Shift plus, and it will also give me my subscript. Or I just press Ctrl Shift minus, and it will give me my subscript. So there are shortcuts to that as well. And for some of them, if you click on that particular stuff, you will see this description, subscript, Ctrl Shift minus. You can see it written there. Giving you information about what that function is going to do for you. Now, let's come to the paragraph pane where you have this. Your paragraph pane also has a lot to do for you. Now, for example, under the paragraph pane, we have your bullet for some of you who have been consistently using Microsoft Word, and you have some list of things that you want to have them in bullet. You just click on this, which is the first on your paragraph pane. And when you do that and you click, it will turn it to a bullet. You know, bullets are used when you have points, most especially in Microsoft PowerPoint. So you can as well click the arrow in front and change the bullet to whichever one best suits your discretion. So you can as well change any of the bullets to whichever one. There's no rule that says you must use black or you must use a big dot or a square. Anyone that you want to use is allowed. Then right in front of the, what's it called? The bullet is what we call numbering, which is used to create a list. For example, you may want to have, instead of bullet, maybe you want to have 1 and 2. And automatically, when you click that numbering, it will give numbering automatically to what you have written. And the next time you are clicking, enter, it will continue the numbering until you tell it to stop numbering automatically. So The next is multi-level. You can as well use this numbering for what we call list building, which I'm going to show you in a jiffy by the time we start proper, maybe in the next 10 or 15 minutes. I need to confirm if you guys are still with me. So you are with me. Can you please just give me a one? A one. Don't send me emoji this time. A one. It's only those people who are not with me that will give me an emoji. You are with me. Can you give me a one? You are still with me. Can you give me a one? Excellent. All right. Okay. That is good. So majority of you guys are with me. Excellent. All right. So let's continue then with what we have been doing. So you can use that in your number list to generate number and listing. Then you have multi-level list. I'm going to explain that when we start doing the work proper. Then you have what we call align left, align central, and align to the right or justify. What will this do? Let's quickly bring up our generated word and see. Yeah, good. I don't want it in italics. I want it in italics. I don't want it good. Okay. So what I did there is just I press equals rand RAND open bracket 70. Okay, let me make 5 so that it will not be too long a sentence, or 10. I think 10 sentences or 7 sentences should be fine. What I'm saying is that I want an automatically generated 70 paragraph words with 7 sentences. So that's what I'm just trying to do so that we can use that to do our practical. Then you press enter. So it will generate something for you. And here now we have quite a number of pages we can work with. And we are going to be defining the titles or the chapters of each of them as we progress. Now, look at this now. Look at this that we generated. You will observe that it's not looking nice. It's not looking clean. It's not looking neat. While you have the left hand of the document very clean, you can see all of them are straight from the left. But look at your right, haphazard, looking haphazard, very, very dirty. I don't think any student. It means you are doing you are not doing a thorough work. You are not doing a thorough work. So it means why is this happening? It's actually happening because if you look at under your paragraph, the paragraph pane here, if you look at where our alignment is on left alignment, right? So because it's on left alignment, that's why everything on the left looks very neat and everything on the right looks dirty, because that's what the description for your left alignment will tell you. Now, let me do a control hold and let me now press center. What you see is that everything will be centralized. That's not also good for the whole of the document, though there could be special places that can be centralized. If you click the next, what you will see is that it'll be a very clean on the right. That's your right alignment. Very clean on the right and looking haphazard on the left. That's your right alignment. And if you use the last one, which is called justified, you see both ends will look very clean. Now, while that may work for somebody who is a novice, I will still not want you to go by that route, except in some special cases. What are you expected to do to make your work look smarter and clean? And this is where we are coming, styling. We will do some styling, and I will explain to you what this styling does and how it helps your work to look very, very neat and professional. But before we get there, let's quickly finish other things on the paragraph pane. Now, the next to that is your line spacing, the one I was trying to describe to you the other time. Now, if you look at this line spacing you have here, this is likely to be 1.0, if I'm not mistaken. So let's take a check. Oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. So it's not even, okay, I think it's around 1.15. something very close to 1.15. Now imagine in a document you have 1.15, on that same document you have 1.0, and on that same document you also have 2 points, okay, you also have 1.5. On the same page, you also have 2.0. And let's look at the document and see how it's going to look like. So you can imagine, let me try and reduce. I just hope you still be able to see clearly what I'm trying to show there. So now look at the page on your right hand. You can see the first paragraph looking very close. The next one a bit spacey. The next one. So if you have this kind in your document, it shows that you have not done a very good homework. And that shows the kind of person and the kind of effort you have put into the work. Now, in some instances, especially if you're an artist, you may also decide to give some color, not necessarily because you're an artist. Now, it's on automatic. If you want to do highlighting, you can use some color to do your highlighting, anyone you like. And that's what you have in the next stuff to the right, which is called shading. Of course, when you have a table, you can underline. I will talk about that when we get to tabling. Now let's go to styles. What will style do? What will style do for you? Style will, okay, I want to open a document. Let me see if it's an heavy document. The document I was talking about that was about 502 pages. So I hope it won't distract. Okay, so we are still in order. So while the document is open, I want to show you something and how important styling is in ensuring that your work is very good and professional. So, but before we go there, it is important. Now, naturally, when you open it, your styling will come this way. Not it will come in a default manner and default setting. So when it happens this way, it is important that you have to edit your styling to suit the kind of document you are preparing. Very important. Because it is the styling that will tell the Microsoft Word, this one is just the body of the work. Oh, this one is just a major heading in the work. Oh, this one is just a sub-heading in this work. Oh, this one is another sub-heading. So styling, when you do your styling well, it will give that kind of proper structure. I believe you all remember when we say something is an organogram. Organogram gives structure in any organization. You know who's at the top head and who is next and who reports to who and what have you like that. So styling also helps you to do that. For example, your normal describes generally the body of the work. So it means, the body of your work is different from the title of the work. I need you to pay attention very well while I wait for that document to load. The body of your work is different from the title of your work. A title, for example, if your project work is like 4 or 5 chapters, and aside from the preliminary pages, the chapter one is your introduction, perhaps. Okay, good. The chapter 1 is your introduction. Your chapter 2, perhaps, is your literature review. Your chapter 3 is your, let's say, methodology, or as we may call it, materials and methods. And let's say your chapter 4 is perhaps your result and discussion. Perhaps your chapter 5 is, let's say, conclusion and recommendation. Now, it's important that all those chapters and their headings, I mean, the major heading of that chapter, takes its own style separately from sub-headings in each chapter. What am I trying to say? If you have chapter 1, and chapter 1 is introduction, it is important to understand that introduction, chapter 1, we have a larger heading than any other subtopic in that chapter 1, like, let's say, a subtopic like background to the study. Or, as a science student, you are describing a natural product. or secondary and tertiary, primary and secondary metabolite. You know, each of them will have their separate heading. And what that will help you to do eventually will be that at the end of the day, you will be able to have a well-organized document that flows seamlessly. Okay, don't mind that document. I know it may create this kind of scenario. It's a document that seems very heavy, and that is why most times it takes time to load. I actually thought I had opened it on before. Okay, while we stay with that, so if what I've said so far, you got it clearly, can you please give me a yes? What I've said so far, you are following, you got me clearly what I've introduced to you about styling, about paragraphing, paying, and font. Give me a yes. Share marker, excellent. I can see your yes on the YouTube. Let me see from my guys here. You are following well. Tom, you are all right. Excellent, excellent. That's a good one. That's a good one. So I think it seems our document is getting ready. Yeah, it's getting ready. Good. So I want to go to what I've been trying to describe since. Now look at this now. I want to move from, this is my table of content for this particular work. And you can see all the documents from the title page to the ending of the page is one. It's not as if I have my preliminary pages somewhere, and I now have my major part of the document somewhere else, and I have my references again somewhere else. No, 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 no. That's not what we do. If you understand how to use Microsoft Word and how to use your styling and some other aspects which I will take you through, you will get it without stress. All right, so right from here, like I said, I can move to my, where do I want to go to? I want to go to introduction. So I think I can scroll down good. I want to go to chapter 1, which is introduction. And you can see immediately I click on it, it gave me an information that I can actually click, control, and click on that introduction, and it will take me. That's one of the benefits of doing your styling very well. So you will see me now. I'm going to press control and click. And the next thing you will see happening is that it will take me straight to where my chapter 1 is. So still trying to do that. Yeah, good. So you can see I didn't have to do a scrolling before I met myself in chapter 1. Now, what I was saying the other time is that this is your chapter 1 introduction. This is a subtitle under chapter 1, research background on natural products. Now, how will you be able to do that successfully? So I'm going to go back to what we were using before for you to be able to do that. The first thing I said you will do is that you have to edit all your styles. We have agreed that the styling we're going to use, the font we are going to use is Times New Roman. The font we are going to use is, font size is going to be 12. And what else? The line spacing is going to be 1.5. That's what we're going to do. So it is important that I come here to normal. Remember, I told you that normal is the main body. And that is why you see when I click any part of this document, because it's not yet structured, what I have in my styling is like a black tick box around my normal. By the time we do our formatting, you see some changes is going to be taking place by the time we start putting chapters. So let me first of all put right click on your normal. When you do your right clicking on the normal, you see some options. What you want to do there is that you want to modify. You do a modification, and you're going to see quite some of these things you have in your paragraph and font pane also coming here for you to be able to edit them. So you edit the formatting for the font type, change it to Times New Roman. Remember, it's the body of the work. Of course, it's in 12, so we don't have problem. The body of your work should not be left indent. The body of your work should rather be justified. It should not be on the left, it should not be on the right, rather it should be justified. So you come under where you have your Times New Roman and 12, you see where you have your indenting style there. And if you look at this preview pane here, you see whatsoever corrections you are making, changing so that you can see what you are doing. For example, if I click centralize, you see that it will also show me that that stuff is being centralized. If I click left, it will show me the effect of what I'm doing here. Then if I click on this, it's telling me I have justified. Now, that's for your normal. My line spacing, you can see it's telling me that my default font for normal now is Times New Roman and of course justified. Then my line spacing is 1.16 line spacing, which is not what we should have. We should rather have 1.5 line spacing. So I will click the last one here is single line spacing. The next one here in the middle is 1.5. Then the last one on the right is double. So you click 1.5, right? Then you can as well define the next line as how far is it going to be. So we can have that one at either your 8-point or automatic. If you want to increase it, you can click on this arrow, which is next, which is under automatic here, and that point will be increasing. You can see what is actually happening. If you look at the main Microsoft Word, is that the distance between the first paragraph and the next paragraph gets widened up the more I increase that. So, but we must be careful because remember we are talking about consistency. So we should maintain it at either 6-point or automatic, and you are okay. I think 6-point is even still too small. So you can leave it as the way it is before we started. Now, when you are done doing that, this automatic is talking about the font color. Of course, it should be black. Sorry, it should be automatic. Yeah, which is black. So you click on it and then you click OK. Now, what you have simply done is that at any given point in time, when you are typing the body of the work, it will be changed to Times New Roman and we maintain the justified alignment and every other control we have given it. Now, that is why it is important you do all of this even before typing or starting your write-up. It is important because if you don't do it, it will still waste your time at the end. And if you see that's what is going to happen to us, remember we have generated this document before we now start doing it. But even at that, you can see that it has formatted all the documents to suit normal. If you scroll from top to down, it has formatted all except these ones that we had formatted with line spacing earlier. So all you just need to do is when you click it, I come back and click normal, it will readjust to the actual normal that we have defined for it earlier. But every other thing we have not done any special formatting for. From top to down of the document, you will see is justified, no problem. So that's what that will do for you. So even if you have to type any other new thing, it will still remain justified. You have to type any other new thing, it will still remain justified like that. Now, the next is you have no spacing. You know, there are some instances, maybe you are trying to, well, we have to, maybe you are trying to write a title and the space is looking too big. You can as well use your no spacing to actually arrive at that as well. So, no spacing, you can as well edit that one. What do you do? Right click, modify, the same process applicable. But the only difference now is that you leave it at no spacing because you may need it later. You don't have to go and be controlling the line spacing afterwards. Just look at it, it is correct, okay, no spacing, fine. So the next one is editing. The next one to your right in your styling. If you click this arrow down, there are quite a number of them. If you click the arrow down, yeah, you can see. If you click the arrow down, you have a number of them. Heading, heading 2, subtitle, emphasis, and so on and so forth. So what do we want to do? We want to edit our heading. So you click on it and right click. When you right click, of course, you modify. You click on modify as we used to do. Then in this case, what is heading telling you? Heading 1 is like telling you the chapter. That is the major heading of that work. So if you are doing heading 1, for example, heading 1 will stand for the major chapter, chapter 1, and the title of that chapter. Let's say, for instance, let me back this and let me come back to normal. So let me write chapter 1, of course, in capital letter, chapter 1. Let me write the title of chapter 1 as introduction. I hope I'm still in order. You can still hear me. Can you please give me a 1? You can still hear me. Give me a 1. Please confirm to me. Okay, excellent, excellent. All right, let's continue. So now, what you need to do is come back to your heading. Now, if you look at what is happening, when my cursor is on chapter 1, and you come back and click, you just move your cursor around heading. You see that chapter 1 is already changing to what that heading has been pre-configured to. It's changing to blue. Let me even click it so that we can see the correct thing that is happening there. Yeah, it has changed to blue. It has changed the font size to 20, the font type to Calibri Light, like you can see here, Calibri Light. And of course, remember, consistency is key. You can't use Times New Roman for the body of your work. You're now using Calibri Light for your headings. So you have to right click and edit. Also, you edit and change the font type to Times New Roman. You can click the arrow or you type it. The moment you type it, it's bringing it out immediately. Don't forget it's your heading. If the school regulation says heading must be 12, fine. You can retain it as 12. If it says 14, you can retain it as 14. But if you check the other time we're doing normal, we didn't bold our normal. But definitely you know that your heading should be bold or bolding. So you have to bold it. You have to change the color to black or automatic, whichever one is still black, right? Then what do you do next? You come, chapter 1 should be centralized. You can centralize it. So instead of your left or right or justified, you come and click that it should be at the center. What did you see happening? Immediately I click at the center, chapter 1 moved to the center. Assuming I want all my heading 1 to be 14 sized, I can as well increase it to 14, and of course it will still maintain that particular font size. So if I leave it at 14, I've bolded it, then of course I've defined that. Every other thing I think is okay, you can click OK. So what you have seen is that this has changed to heading 1. And you can see something that looks like a black rectangle turned, black right angle triangle, not rectangle, black right angle triangle appearing there. So telling you have done a styling on that particular, and this is what you will use for your table of content. That's why I'm trying to spend time explaining it to you. It is what will help you in generating your table of content. So of course, remember, we also said introduction will follow the same. So you just need to here. You don't need to go back and be doing editing again. Just click on the introduction you have written, and after clicking on it, come back to the style and click on your heading. Immediately, it will bring the introduction to the same formatting you have formatted your title to. Let's imagine we moved down to page, let's say page, let's just start here. Don't know what page is this, maybe 5 or 6. We say our page, this page is chapter 2. All I just need to do here now is type my chapter 2, and let's say we call it literature review. So all I just need to do now is highlight the 2 and click heading 1. And both of them will also align immediately to the formatting I have done to my heading 1. Now, if my chapter 3 is somewhere, let's say here, okay, let me put it somewhere here because there's something I'm still going to teach you very soon. Let me put my chapter 3 somewhere here. Chapter 3. Somewhere here, and let me call it materials and the method. So let me call my chapter 3 materials and methods. The same thing, I can highlight and click that particular heading. But you can see there's already an error. So I deliberately put it there. We'll correct that error because ideally start from a new page, a fresh page, not continuing as another page. So it's very, very important we pay attention to that as well. Now, let me quickly say what you are expected to do in this case. Perhaps you want this to move to the next page. Remember, I told you, be wary of pressing enter, 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 enter. You know, some people, that's what they'll be doing. Press enter, enter, enter till it gets to the next page. They will not stop pressing enter. That's very archaic. That's very wrong. You know what this will do is that if you make any changes at the top of where you press enter, it will also affect your chapter 3. Let's imagine I wanted to include, okay, I make a copy and paste. Let me copy something from here that will make that to shift downwards. I now put it under here. You see what is going to happen. I want this page to continue. My supervisor said I should add something. I now added it. So let's see. You know, the last enter we did was such that our chapter 3 was starting from another page. So let's see where our chapter 3 is now. So you can see it has moved almost to the middle of this page. And that's one of the dangers of pressing enter, enter multiple times. You know, so what are you expected to do? So I'm going to bring it back to where it was at that time. And quickly, please grab this. Very, very important. So, sorry. Right. So this was where we were that time. Right. So what are we going to do? You click the ending or the starting of that chapter. You can see where my cursor is here. You come to layout. You come to layout. Under layout, there are quite a number of things. I hope our time will be enough to cover that. There are quite a number of things, but what we actually use to solve the problem I just gave is that you click break. Under break, there are various options depending on the kind of break. The break we want to do presently now is that we want this to be the start of our next page. So we are going to use the first option here. If you are doing section break, it has another definition. We will use that when we want to do our preliminary page, that section break, which is this next page. So, but you're going to click this, and what is going to happen when you do that clicking is that chapter 3 will move straight down to the beginning of the next page, such that irrespective of what you do again at the top of the pages before chapter 3, it will keep moving chapter 3 to the beginning of a new page. Let's see that. I click it. So you can see what has happened. Good. You can see what has just happened. It has moved to the next page. So imagine if I now have to do a copy and paste of something, or my supervisor said, oh, no, I need you to have so thing to chapter 2. Take it to the end of chapter 2 or the beginning of chapter 2. Such that when I was now adding that thing to chapter 2, now it now moved and keep moving. It will not affect this chapter 3 anymore. what is going to happen is that chapter 3 will move again to the next page. If you move again to the next page, and the beginning of the next page, not the middle of it. Let me tell you what I'm saying. Pay attention, please. Let me tell you what I'm saying. If I have to add something up to this place, I had it up. If there's any question, you can please just post it. I'm following the chart. Good. Exactly what I wanted to do. Now look at what just happened. What I added afresh was added up such that you have it ending in the early part of the next page. Let's look out for where our chapter 3 now is. It will no longer be, it will have moved to the next available page again. And that's what you are seeing here. You can see how important your styling is. So let's go back to our home ribbon and continue with our styling, because it's not only at the one that you will apply style. Like in the document I showed you, you can see some listing 1.1, 1.2, which will heading. Now, the moment you are done doing heading 1, we see heading 2 would have appeared. When we started the other time, it wasn't there, but it would have appeared. The moment you also edit heading 2, heading 3 will appear. Now, what's the difference between heading 1, heading 2, heading 3? Let's go back to that document we were using the other time. Now, look at my work. Let me go to my table of contents so that it will be easy for you to grab immediately without stress. Now, my table of content, where is it? So, and I want you to pay attention to what, good. Look at, let me use chapter 2 to explain that. This is my heading 1, the one we just did together. Chapter 2, literature review, or chapter 1, introduction. My heading 2, usually, personally, I make it the next sub-heading after the main heading, which, for instance, in this case, talks about the family of the plant I worked with. My heading 3, like 2.1. What this 2 means, the 2 here means chapter 2. If you look at my chapter 1, you have headings, the major heading, chapter 1, introduction. Then my heading 2, 1.1, you can see just 2 figures in my listing. Research background, statement of problem, justification, aim and objectives. 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, okay? I think when I was doing one training, I've removed 1.2. Now, but let's go to chapter 2. 2.1. Now, this 2.11, 2.12 is telling you, giving you an information that it's a sub-heading under 2.1. So if my 2.1 is heading 2, it then means my 2.11 and 2.12, both of them will be heading 3. So you could also have heading 4. Let me see if I have anything. I think I stopped all my work at heading 3. But a situation could come where, for example, you could have 2.531, 2.532. So when you have 4 figures in your listings like that, it will be heading 4. And each of them will be like a subset of 1. So let's return back to the material we're using. And let's go and edit every of our other headings. So we have done heading 1. Let's right click on heading 2. Okay, heading 2. Don't forget, we edit this. The same process, we do this. Remember, it's heading. Every heading should be bold, right? But in this case now, it is a sub-heading. So I will love it to maintain a left indenting. So then it cannot be blue. It has to be automatic. What else? I'm good to go. You click OK. So let's do all our editing before we now start applying them. So you can as well have the next heading. Just a moment. Oh, sorry, I wanted to make sure I have heading 3. Now, if you check what happened just now, when I edited or modified my heading 2, there was no heading 3 showing up. Why? Because in the document, I have not used heading 2 at all. So it automatically recognizes that, oh, you don't need edit 3. It is when you have used a heading that you may be thinking of a sub-heading. So let's create something that will make us use heading 3. Now, that's what we call listing. Like I was showing you the other time, 1.1, 1.2. It only gives structures to your work. So let's imagine I also did background to my research. If you are not picking any style, it would always revert to the first style we edited, which is your normal style. So if you did not click any other style, it will always revert to background, okay, to normal style, background to the study. And in writing, it is good you hear this, in writing. Now look at what just happened. Okay, let me ask quickly. Which do you think, listen carefully to my question, which do you think would be the most appropriate in all of this title, style, for this background to the study? So I'm going to do some editing now. So imagine you have it bold, but this is like this, and this is like this. So look at each of them carefully. And okay, I think there should be one more. So you type on this on your chat box. So I'm going to give it numbering. Let me give it another one, which is like this. Good. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So which of what you have here, 1 to 4, will be the ideal way of formatting this my subtopic? I'm waiting. You have 4 options there. Which of them do you think is the ideal way of formatting this my subtopic? 1 to 4. Who is the first to hear this? Who is the first to do this? 3. I'm seeing 3. I'm seeing 1. Okay. I'm seeing 1 on YouTube. 3 on YouTube. Those on Google Meet, where are you? Only one person is responding. Okay. I have 2 responses there now. Ijatu Yolasumbo 3. Olarolo Deborah 3. Okay. Shiamaka 3. Abdul Isa 1. 1, 1, 1. Okay. 1, 3. I think I have about 9 or 8 people here. So what are you guys doing? Are you sure you're in class? Are you sure you're in class? I'm taking my attendance. Are you sure you're in class? These are confirmation that you are here. You're not just doing something else. All right. Excellent. Okay. I'm seeing some beautiful responses, but let's go back and see what we should use. Now, there's what we call title case. There's what we call uppercase. Now, if you look at your font where you have your font, and you click where you have a capital A and small a, and see what is happening there, saying change case. You click it, you see sentence case, lowercase, uppercase, capitalize each word, then toggle case. Actually, the best, as others have said, is 1. I think I have 1, majority 1 on my YouTube. Excellent one, guys. And if I could give you a clap, I would have done that. But yes, you have it. That's it. All right. So background to the study. Now, what makes the difference? What you have, in fact, okay, there's what we call title case. And it is this that is your title case. Your title case is actually italicizing the first letter or alphabet of the first word. Like, yes, like you have for capitalize each word here. You have the first alphabet of the first word and every other word capitalized, excluding your, is it prepositions and conjunction that we call them. That is why D will not be, 3 will not be an answer for those who pick 3. 2 and D, THE and TO, they are, I think, is it preposition or, no, they are not conjunction. I think the hands are, I'm not an English lecturer, so, but those conjunctions of prepositions are usually written in small letters. So please take note of that. Take note of that. So the correct formatting would be your title case for your subtopics, except if otherwise stated. Maybe some institutions may have variants. Now, so it means while option B would be ideal for your heading 1, option 1 would be ideal for your heading 2 and every other heading, either table heading, figure heading, or figure title, or whatsoever heading. You use what we call title case. That is why it is called title case. Each first alphabet for each word is capitalized, except for prepositions, yes, or conjunction. So there's what we call sentence case. That is not needful. Sentence case is only when the first word and the first alphabet of the first word is the only one that is capitalized. Every other thing remains in small letter. Like, okay, let me change this 4 to this. That's a sentence case in that case. Background to study. Only B is in capital. So it's important you know that when you are writing your work as well. All right, let's go get back to work in our style. So I've just simply explained that too to help you in your write-up. Background to the study. Background to the study. That is the subtitle. But there's something very important that you must add, which is your listing. Also to give your work a very good structure when you are doing your table of content. So we call it numbering, and you can edit, you can define new numbering format. If you have been using Microsoft Word for a long time, you will see all the libraries of the numbers you have used in time past. That's why you are seeing my own with 1.1, 1.2, blah, 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 all available there. So, but if you don't have it in yours, all you just need to do is come to that same place where you have your numbering. You can create or define a new number in your own case. I don't need to define a new number in my case. But in your case, the moment you click it, you will see this 1 point coming up, right? And when you do that 1 point, remember what you want to give it is not 1.0. Your major heading is actually the 1.0. The next should be 1.1. So you have it as 1 point will automatically appear, but you have to move your cursor to the left of that 1 point. Because this one, you can see the one is showing here is as if it's highlighted. So it's that one that will be changing continuously as you work on that document. So I'll put 1 point at the end of the document. I mean, at the end of that 1 point, telling me I'm in chapter 1. That's what we call chapter delimitation. Chapter 1 is that 1 point. Then the first listing on my chapter 1, 1.1. And my alignment is to the left. You can see in the preview pane how it will look like by the time you move to 1.2, by the time you move to 1.3. Ideally, you don't need to press 1.2, 1.3. What you just need to do is to press the numbering. It will automatically change to 1.2 when you get there. So if I click OK now, it will introduce 1.1 to my background to study. You can put a space if I do want, but remember, if you put a space, you have to be consistent throughout your document, putting a space immediately after your 1.1. Another important thing is that you see that my hanging indent also moved it to the front. I can return it to make sure it starts proper. So what do I do? Let me show you what I just did. Look up carefully to where you have your line. This is what we call left indent, right? The one you can see, there's like a rectangle with something that looks like another stuff like triangle on it. So this under one is the left indent. What happens is that if you move it, that stuff will be moving to the left. I mean, wherever your cursor is will be moving to the left. So if you want only a part to move, you can click on the hanging indent. So that will only be moving a part of wherever your cursor is. But that's not what I wanted. I wanted all to move. I also have another which is first line indent. So you move that to ensure it is starting the same way the whole other part of your document is starting. And you have it background to the study. Remember, I have not clicked heading 2, so something is going to change. But Let me come back here now and click heading 2. The moment I click heading 2, heading 3 will appear on my style because I've already told it now that I'm using heading 2 that most likely I may have sub-heading in my heading 2. Move there, then I can come back and reintroduce my numbering or style, that I've already configured and moved. So it is important that as you are writing your document, you are doing, I'm happy that you are having this now at your disposal. So even for those who have written their document, it will only take you a few hours to effect all of these changes and see your document coming out very neat. So what have I done? We have given a number list to 1.1. Then editing has appeared on my styling. So imagine if I have another subheading, another background to the study that is 1.11, then editing will be useful in that case. So let me edit my edit 3 and make it look like the way we have been working for others. So I select it as 12. Of course, it's an heading, so it has to be bold, automatic, then it has to have left alignment. What else? I think we are good to go. And press OK. You can see it changed immediately. So let's imagine the next okay, let's go to page 2. Let's imagine after this is your another subheading in chapter 1, which is somebody give me a subheading, any subheading, somebody on YouTube, somebody on what's it called, Google Meet, give me a subheading, any subheading, give me. You want me to include in that particular sheet. Scope of the study, excellent. Ijatui Olasunde. So let me type scope of the study. So I have scope of the study. You can see my consistency in my title case. So all I just need to do now is click on heading 2. Remember that's 1.2, and immediately it changes the style to what we have configured to. Then of course, you don't need to come and edit since it's still 1.2. All you just need to do is come and click the numbering, and it will automatically introduce 1.2 to that particular scope. And you can give it a space because that was what I did for the first one. And of course, move it to the next the ideal place. There you have your 1.2 already set. So let's imagine you now have a sub list. Let's say you want to do 1.21. Let me go. Somebody should give me another heading that could be a subheading under scope of. Okay, objective statement of problem. Excellent. Ojo Deborah or Ojo Barrow Deborah. Excellent. So let's just imagine. Okay, I think I would love to have statement of problem as let's call it 1.3. Statement of problem. So that is 1.3. So let's still maintain heading 2. And of course, I click on that to make it on my numbering. Sorry. I click on my numbering to make it 1.3. If you are trying it out with me as I'm going and you have any question, you can please ask. I believe you will receive your answers. All right, you can see it has changed there. That's the same way you'll be doing even when you get to chapter 2. So that's why I'm taking my time, because we are going to generate a table of content in a jiffy. So that's why I'm also moving to the next page, so that by the time we put paging or pagination, you see what is going to happen. So let's call this one, okay, somebody gave me operational definition of terms, research hypothesis. All right, let's do research hypothesis, or then you have, now, Oluwatomilola, you gave me research hypothesis. So can you quickly give, I just hope you didn't come late, because if you are just hearing that question by now, it seems you're a bit late. All right, let's take research hypothesis. Research hypothesis. So I need you to give me a subtopic. Remember, research hypothesis is itself a subtopic under introduction. But we now want to give, I think I got this wrong. Good. So we now want to have another subheading under research hypothesis. So I need somebody to give me a subheading I can use for research hypothesis. So let's give this 1.4. Somebody give me a subtopic that can fit well under research hypothesis. Who's doing that? Let me see. Who's doing that? Who's doing that? A subtopic I can use. A subtopic I can use. Research questions. Okay, I think that can still fit maybe under research hypothesis. Let's see. So now you have 1.4. Okay, null hypothesis. Let's use that. Null hypothesis. Let's imagine our 1.41, which will now be heading 3, is null hypothesis. So let's type it first. Null hypothesis. And of course, remember, you click your style, it changes to null hypothesis. Then we now want to, if you click numbering as it is now, numbering will number it as 1.5, but that's not what we want. We want it numbered as 1.41. So that means we have to give it a new list because that's automatically another list. So what are we going to do? We can come and say define a new number list. So you can see it's reading 1.5. So that means it's still reading as a fresh list. So let me see what we can do to achieve that. Let's come to a new multi-level list. Will it work for us? What we want is a situation where instead of having 1.5, we want to have 1.41. So now, okay, what I'm going to do is that I will select one of the ones that is from the library and now give it an editing. So I'm going to edit one of the ones I already have in my library. All right, so let's quickly do that. I want to edit this. Change list level. Set numbering level. Define new number format. So now what happens was that the moment I clicked that, it gave me opportunity to be able to edit a new number format. So instead of 1.2, remember what we did the other time also was that we moved to the left of our 1 point and we gave it the chapter delimitation we did for chapter 1. So what we want here now is 1.41. So I'll just click 1.4 and I will click OK. So you see it on the preview pane. So you have it 1.41. What's this telling you? Sorry. Oh, okay. We have chapter 2 here. What just happened? Okay, no. So now, what do we do? Everything is starting from the right. I'm sorry, from the left. So consistency is key. So we have 1.4.1 point, telling you that this is under this. Now, what this arrow you are seeing as we are clicking is also doing that. You can decide to collapse everything under 1.41 and it will take you to the next. For example, if you click, look at 1.4. You know there is like a arrow pointing downwards or sideways. If you click on it, it can collapse everything under 1.4 session. That's one of the things that happens. Now let's see if you can also define. Somebody gave me something the other time. I love it. Null hypothesis. So let's also have alternative. Are we in order? Yes. Let's also have alternative hypothesis. So this is 1.42. That's heading 3. I click my heading 3. Then I remember we are still in our number list. We are still under 1.41. So I don't need to go and edit. All I just need is click and it automatically give me 1.42. Then of course I move it back the same way I've been doing since, and I have it there. Now if I collapse 1.41, you see that it will move me straight to 1.42. And the arrow is telling me that there are some things under 1.41 that is not showing. So now let's stop there and see what next we can do, because very, very important. Now, if you look here, you see that your chapter 2 is on a page where chapter 1 is ending, which is not ideal, as I've always said. So what do? Who can remind me what we used to what we used to move chapter 3 to a new page the other time? Anybody? What did we use to move chapter 2 to a new page without having to be pressing enter? Who is there? Anybody? Tell me, where did we find which of the ribbons did we click on to move chapter 2 to a new page without having to be pressing
Hi, Dr. Ajiboye. We can't hear you again. Thank you. Dr. Ajiboye will be coming soon. So let's just wait for him, please. Thank you very much. And I hope you're enjoying the class. If you're enjoying the class, can you give me an emoji? Thank you very much. All right. Thank you, Tomiwa. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you so much. For those on YouTube, all right. Mary, thank you. It's going to come back again. Don't worry. Right. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm reaching out to him already. Victoria is saying that she cannot see clearly on YouTube. Remember, I've told you that when you are joining via YouTube, you need to set your resolution. For example, let me share my screen. I'm also watching on YouTube, and if you come here, you see on YouTube, just over your mouse on the screen, and you see settings. From settings, you will change the quality to maybe 720 or 480. For example, this is 480, and I can see clearly. And if you cannot still see clearly, you can change the settings, quality setting to maybe 720. With 720 now, you can see clearly. And if you can see me clearly, can you give me an emoji say I can see clearly? with this 720 resolution? Okay, great. Thank you very much. Now you can see the settings is just 720. With 720, anybody can see clearly. So that is how to change your resolution so that you can see clearly. All right. So that's just it for now. All right. Dr. Clement will be joining very soon. He's having trouble with his internet, and he will be back shortly. Okay. All right. So Dr. Clement will be joining very soon. Okay. Dr. Clement, you are welcome back.
Yeah.
So over to you again.
So sorry about that. My network got disconnected. So, and I was following on the YouTube because I wonder why the laptop got disconnected, but I was still seeing how our facilitator was engaging you throughout the time that was happening. All right, so let's get back to work. I think I was trying to ask a very, very good question about what we can use. I saw some saying page break, some saying we find it in layout, some saying section break. The ideal one to use in this time around, is actually found in your layout. So when you click your layout, let me be sure. I hope you can see my screen. I hope you all can see my screen. Please confirm to me you can see my screen. Okay, yeah, I think you can. All right. So the ideal thing after you have clicked your layout is to do break and of course page break. So it takes you straight to chapter 2 on that page. So that's very, 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 very important. So one thing, okay, I have, let me just use about 15 more minutes to quickly do this. Remember, I told you within 31 minutes, we generate our table of content. That's normal. So, but before then, um, there's something very, very important that you also need to know quickly. So let's quickly do that. Remember, before every page, there's what we call title page, preliminary page. So it's important that you also have all on the same page. It makes your work look neat, presentable, and beautiful. And how do you achieve that? So you can achieve that by, okay, in this case, now let's move our chapter 1 on that page using a page break. Okay, using a page break. So, of course, I've moved this from page 1 to the next. So before I do my pagination, what will I do? Let me normal. I've returned it to normal. So I can think of, can all of you just give me, aside from the title page, yeah, everybody, give me other preliminary pages that you know from certification. Can you all start? You're in 400 levels. So I think you should have all of this at your disposal. Preliminary pages. Can you give me some? Who is there? Who is there? Declaration page. Okay, maybe that's what we also call certification page, but let me still have it anyways. Declaration page. Remember, okay, I don't need to put page. Declaration. What other thing? Some of you are in 500. Oh, you're all in 500. That's interesting. Oh, list of figures. Okay, excellent. List of figures. What else? What else? List of figures. List of figures. Am I having anyone on my Google Meet here? Who is there? Nobody's okay. Dedication. Have I done that? No. Dedication. So let's include dedication. Don't mind me. You can do the arrangement later as it fits well. So let me put dedication. What else? Abstract. Excellent. Abstract. Acknowledgement. Please note that your acknowledgement should always have XS after acknowledgement. Correct. Acknowledgement. References. I think references should still be part of your table of content, the later part of it. I'm not sure it should be part of your preliminary. Why we say preliminary page? Okay, good. Table of content. Preliminary page, we mean the pages before the main body of the work. Table of content. So, table of content should come before your abstract. I think a list of figures should come after your table of content. And I think acknowledgement should come before all of these. All right, so let's just have it in this order. Okay, list of tables. We have not taken that. List of tables. And I think perhaps acronyms. Dedication. Yes, I have dedication already. And for some instances, you can also have, okay, yeah. So let's make do with that. You can also have list of acronyms. So what are you expected to do here? Remember, each of them will be on a separate page. And one thing I will do personally before I start putting them on separate pages is that I will insert my, what we call the title page. Word by itself recognizes title page and may not give your title page numbering by the time you do your start numbering. So it's important, just come to insert. When you get to insert, you see, a moment, you can see cover page, blank page, cover. If you've seen some textbooks before, you see this page is deliberately left blank. So that's if you want to leave a blank page. But you can see cover page. So you can click on cover page to give you various options. Definitely, you're still going to edit that options that is going to come and make it suitable for the design for your faculty or for your department or for the institution or to the institution. Just a moment, sir. Or the institution you are dealing with. So just I'm trying to wait for it to load. Don't know. Oh, my video is still. I think I wanted to put this video, stop the video so that I think you have seen enough of my face. So where am I? Yes, now. Oh my God. My document is still loading. Okay, so let me click on it again. So you can see, so I can just pick any, I don't mind. Let me pick the one that'll be easy. I just pick any, it will automatically insert that page. So you can decide to delete all of these things you have here. And then, you know, in some institutions, you have it already said in a way that there's a way it must be arranged. Maybe your name and then the title of the work, whatever. So you can do your typing afterwards and do a centralization. Delete all of these ones that came with the default ones you selected and do all the necessary settings, like your name is Deborah Alex, the title of your work is immunology or whatsoever, blah, blah, blah. So that, of course, you increase the font size and many other things. Now, I trying to brush up that. So you do the thing such that it will look formally like the one I showed you earlier. You can see, this is my title page for this, right? This is my title page for this. So you can do that and of course put the year. Then after that, remember you have typed all the necessary, okay, good. You have typed, these are title page now where you have immunology. The next is your certification. So of course, your certification can be on the next page, which of course should be here. So we are going to be using page break to do that. So you have your certification. Then after that, you put your cursor on your dedication, so declaration or dedication, whatever it may be. So let's leave it as dedication. So you put your cursor and you come to page layout and do page break also. That will move that to that end. Remember, each of them should be a separate page. So I'm just doing that for all of those preliminary pages, such that at the end, just listen carefully. At the end of the day, you are still going to impute those content inside yourself. Don't worry about how is it now going to look if I start including my content. The moment you click enter in front of your list of tables or each of the pages or each of the title, it automatically switch to what we call, okay, this is why this is happening. Let me quickly correct something that happened there. Oh, what's up? I can see my cursor has refused to work. Okay. Aha. This should start from page 2. I mean, yes. Aha. This is my title page certification. Good. So you now click on each of the headings. Remember, it's heading 1 because it's a major part of that. So you click heading 1 for all of them. And this was what I was trying to say. By the time you want to now type the dedication proper, this work is dedicated to Almighty God or whatsoever, to your daddy or your mommy. If you click, remember now that this is heading 1. That was what we clicked. By the time you click enter, just automatically switch to normal. So you can type easily and it will be on the normal style. Good. So the same way you have that, you also do the same for your acknowledgement. This acknowledgement is not looking correct. Or is it acknowledgement? It's correct. So you click the 1, 2 for all of them in that order. You also click heading 1. You also click heading 1 for your table of content. So it means this is where we are going to come back to put our table of content. That's the last thing we'll be doing for today. So you also have list of table, what else? List of figures. Maybe in our next class, hopefully, be able to do cross-referencing and how to number your tables ideally so that you also can create a list of tables without stress. So now, what next after this? These are your preliminary pages. In most instances, or in most cases, your preliminary pages should have Roman numeral, right? Roman figures. I hope that's what they call it. All these I for 1, I for 2, and what have you. So that's what you should have for your preliminary pages. So you now go to the end of the preliminary pages. To the end. The end of it in this case now is list of figures. So we click enter. Remember what we have been using since is under our layout for break is page break. Here now you are going to use what we call section break. And that is what we differentiate the previous section from the next section. Why? Because when we want to do numbering, the numbering for preliminary pages differs from the numbering for the body of the work. So when you do that, you come to your layout, you click on your breaks. Instead of page break, under page break, the other time we pick page. In this case now, you are going to come to section break and click next page. So when you do that, you have sectionalized the work such that you can now press delete to bring the first thing, which is chapter 1 to that place. So what you have simply done here is that you have told the document that this document, in this case now, has 2 sections, right? 2 sections, section 1, section 2. Let's now do page numbering before we now generate our table of content. Page numbering. You can click any part of the section 1, either the table of anywhere in section 1. Let's click here. Come to insert, right? When you get to insert, come to page number, then click on format page number. Now, look at what this is saying. This is saying kind of number format are you interested in using? We are not using figures 1, 2, 3. No, we want Roman figure 1, Roman figure 2, which is what you have here. And we want it perhaps in small letters. So you click on that. It's asking you, should I continue from previous section? There is no previous section before this. It's asking you, should I start from 1? No. Why am I not starting from 1? Remember, I have inserted cover page. Naturally, cover page doesn't have number. However, it is believed to be your page 1. So ideally, your next page should be Roman figure 2, with that assumption that the first page, which is your cover page, is Roman figure 1. So because if you start that, you should click from 1, it's going to start from that. I think it's for certification after page number. To start that at 1, but wanted it to start from 2. So you click OK. And one thing I will also do naturally is that I'm waiting. Where is it? Oh, sorry. I only did formatting. I've not actually inserted the page. So come back, click on where you want the page to be. I want it to be at the bottom center. So click and you have your pages right there for you. And here they are. So you can see, look at your title page. Remember where we put our it's my immunology is not even correct. Immunology, right? And the next, you can see that that doesn't have any page number. Then certification, look at what is happening for certification. You can see it's starting from 2. So there's no need having your title page somewhere else, having your preliminary pages somewhere else. No need. All of them can be on the same document. And remember, it's only this section. But perhaps let's now move to chapter 1 and see what has happened, even if something has happened at all in chapter 1. So you can see that there's no page numbering at all in chapter 1. Excellent. But you have seen your pagination in in the preliminary pages. So what you do also here is you click on the starting of the other part of the document, come to your insert, come to your page numbering, format your page numbering. This time around, it should start from 1, 2, 3. Where are we starting from? We are not starting from 0. We want it to start from 1. So you click OK. Then you now come back and insert your page number also at the bottom of the page. Did I say you should start from 2? No, I said you should. Okay. I'm not sure I clicked something the other time. Let me check, because it should not be a continuation from the previous section. Continue from previous section. No. Okay. So that's fine. If you want the number to continue from previous section, it will continue. But that, because sometimes you can also do section break in the body of the work. For example, if you have a landscape table in the body of your work, you don't need to have landscape table in another separate page. You can also have it here. Perhaps we'll be able to cover that maybe some other time. So let's do that quickly. Bottom page. This. So you can see having your 1 from the start of your chapter 1 up to the last page of this document. Yeah, page 20. So what do we do next? We want to generate our table of contents now. How will that be possible? Remember, I told you your listing is a very, 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 very important tool in generating your table of content. So let's come to where we have our table of content, and we click. Sorry. Just click to the last S on it and press enter. Then what next? Come to references. References. You can start counting your time now. Remember, I told you within 1 minute. References, 30 to 60 seconds. So if you click your references, sometimes it takes time to load. That's what may make it lag beyond the prescribed time. But when you click on your references, you see quite a number of things. All of the things you are seeing on the ribbons of your references are very, very, very important. But the aspect we'll be covering now is just how to generate the table of content from there. You are still with me. Give me a 1. Give me a 1. Give me a 1. Give me a 1. So you can see we have not even touched how to do citations. Citations. You know, you are 400, I mean, you are 500 level. You'll be doing table, literature review, consulting, published documents. You have to cite properly. Excellent. So under your references, what are we expected to do? You can see the first pane here is talking about table of content. Table of content. Just click on that table of content. And personally, I would love to customize it. So I click custom. It gives me this. I can modify it and tell it if it's not in New Times Roman and change it to New Times Roman. I can do whatever I like. I want it in 12. I want it in 1.5. It's still okay. I don't have problem. So I can click OK for that. I don't want it to give me lines. No, I don't want it. Maybe after the heading, it will now do dot, 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 dot to my page number. I don't want that. So I can remove it. So this level that is showing you from template is talking about the levels we defined our headers to, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. If you have heading 4, you want it to show up to heading 4, you can click it to 4 or 5 or 6, but we stop at 3. So you can have it at 3. What next are you supposed to do? Just click OK, and you have your table of content generated within a jiffy. If you have gotten up to what I've described, can you give me a yes? Capital yes. You have gotten all that I just described for you. Give me a yes. Give me a yes. Give me a yes. If you are with me and you have seen what I've just done practically, give me a yes. Orishade, excellent. Yes, 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 excellent. Excellent. So there you can see, you don't need to be checking each page. My material methods, page 4, you're not typing 4. Even if you change it, okay, let me show you something quickly. Let's put something. Let's move one of the pages to another page and see what is going to happen. But before then, there's something I would love to do. I don't like the way it is. My 1.1, 1.2. I want everything to be aligned to the left, straight to the left. So what do? Just highlight all of them and control your indenting. This indent, hanging indent, or left indent, or top indent. This one here, I hope you can all see. So just move it. By the time I move it, you see, move it well, and move it back to the back very well. Everything we align to the left, but there's one thing more that you now use to control what we call the hanging indent. You can see background to study is very straight, but the ones for the third level is moving inside. I don't want it. I want everything to start on the same line. So what do? You can move. No, not that. There is this hanging indent. Control Z. Control Z. Oh, sorry. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. So there is an hanging indent. Yes, that's hanging. You will click, if you are clicking it carefully, if you click that one that looks like rectangle, it is left indent. You move it a bit up, it is hanging indent. That's what we want to use now. The one at the top is called first line indent. Each of them has what they do. So you move your hanging indent carefully. You can see those background, those lines shifting. You can move it to a comfortable place where all of them will be starting on the same line. And that keeps your document in a very, very important shape. You can see now from here, from what you have done so far, you can safely move to page 14 where you have your material method. Let's do that by clicking Control. Just press Control and click on that title. I've just done that, and it will take you, it will load and take you to where you have your materials and method. And perhaps if you make any editing, let's say at the end of the day, let me do something quickly. We added something such that, let me copy a lot of things, and I want you to see it quickly before I end this class for today. Look at your chapter 3. Your chapter 3 is in page 14. So I want to add something up to chapter 2 such that it will move a bit my chapter 3 downwards. So I'm adding that. So now your chapter 3 is now starting in page 15. Let's see what is going to happen. Let's now go back to our table of content. You don't need to be using your and to retype, all you just need to do is right-click on the table of content. Right-click on it, and you will see update field. Update field. You just click on it, and it will ask you, do you just want to update the page number, or you want to update everything? If you make any editing, major editing, you click on the second option, the entire table. But if it's just page numbering that is a problem, just click update page number only. And you will see this 14 changing immediately. So see, you can see it change it to 15 immediately. So, my excellent student, I have come to the end of this, and I believe you have been able to gain something. So do I have any question? Let me just spare like 3 to 4 minutes. Any question, any question, any question, any question. If you have one, just raise up your hand and quickly you'll be allowed to do that. Okay. All right. You are welcome, sir. Please, you have the floor.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Ajiboye. Thank you for all these demonstrations. I think I learned a lot. Thank you very much. My question is, why are we creating another document for all of this one here? Can't we do it in the original document?
Can you please come again? I'm not sure I got that question.
Okay, my question is, why are we creating another document, to create our table of content and all these preliminary text? So why can't we create it in the same page that we have our
No,
body of text and everything? Is it a must
it's
that we
on this.
create a new
No,
document?
no, 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 no,
Thank
no, no. We did create a new document. Maybe you missed that. It's on the same page.
you.
This is
Oh,
it.
okay.
It's on the same document. These are preliminary page. These are table of content. These are chapter 1. We are moving down, down,
Oh,
down, down,
oh,
down.
I missed that. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. I missed
Everything is
that.
on the
Thank
same
you.
page. Everything is
Oh, great,
actually on
great,
the same
great,
page.
great, great. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That was the promise. All right. So, any other question? Any other question? There are still some important things for scientific writing, like referencing citations. And I think that will also be very important for us to. Okay, I can't see any question here. Inspire. Okay, thank you. Thank you for those compliments. I'm on YouTube Live. I can ask a question. Okay, you can type your question on the YouTube Live. I will. Mistura Yusuf, you can type your question. I can see you. But so if you do have a question, please just type it. I'll give you about 30 seconds to do that quickly with referencing style. Okay, which referencing style is best? Oh, you're taking us further than this class. That's interesting. Well, it depends. Depends. Even as a 400 levels, 500 level students, very soon some of you will be starting your masters, we're writing research papers. Every journal has its own specification when it comes to referencing. Yes. And even each university also have what we call its own writing style or referencing style. So while you will see some will be straightforward, some already generally known, some will tweak theirs to meet with their own writing style. So there's no general referencing rule. So in fact, sometimes if you are using some referencing tools like Mendeley, EndNote, or whatever you are using, you may still have to do some minor editing. You just have to use the one that is very close to the manual style of writing for your institution. So there's no best and there's no. Now I am MS Word literate. That's excellent. And I can still assure you that there are still quite a number of things to learn. Yes, definitely. Excellent, Mr. All right, see you again, sir. You're welcome. Sir, please, can you explain the table of content part again? Okay, I'll do that quickly in 2 seconds. We're going to delete the one we have already there, and we're going to generate another one. If you came late to the class and you don't understand how we do or how we did the styling, it may be difficult for you to generate your own table of content. Definitely it will be. It's going to be. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. So I've deleted the table of content. You have your old document there. Come to references. Under references, you can see table of content, footnotes, okay, this is my own referencing style. I use Mendeley. Microsoft also has its own citation that comes with it, default. Captions, these ones are also very important when we get to table of content and list of figures and others. Now, you click on table of content, just click on it. I want to customize it myself. So come down, you see more tables, custom tables of content, remove table of content. So what I click was custom table of content. So I remove all this dot, just click the arrow in front and click none. So it will remove it. My template is already okay. My font type is already okay. So the moment you do that and you have done your styling well, just click OK. It will bring the table of content without stress. All you just need to do is control your left indent and hanging indent for everything to align well to a professional document. Simple as that. And that's it. You have it again. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Jiboye, for this
You're welcome.
wonderful session. While I was checking on the YouTube, I can see perfect. Well done, sir. Thank you, sir. You are the best. You are the world class facilitator. Uh, now I am a MS Word literate. We love the class. Thank you very much. I hope all the participants also enjoyed the class as Dr. Adiboye actually demonstrated his best in teaching us, everything about how to create a good report. So this session is not only for academic writing. Sometimes maybe you get a job, they will ask you to write a report or do something, and you must know how to format your text in MS Word. And that's exactly what Dr. Adiboye just taught us today. Thank you very much. Our class continues tomorrow, same time, same station. See you again tomorrow. Bye, everyone.